Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 614. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Monday, the 1st of March. No, May.
I was like, can we go back in time? Because on the 1st of March, I was feeling fabulous.
But then you'd have to live through it again.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
Laura and I both use she, her pronouns. And I feel like it hasn't been very long since we recorded. But maybe that's not true.
Been a week.
Yeah, it's not. We did not record on Monday.
Maybe Tuesday.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it definitely was not Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
I know it wasn't Wednesday. Okay, well. Anyhow, apparently I live in a different, state of time than everybody else.
I mean, there is that.
I don't have a ton to talk about this week. What about you?
I have a little bit, because I've made a little bit of progress on two things. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Because I'm in the middle of a row, but I will stop. So the first thing that I have some progress on is my sweater. So this is the Weekender Light. That's the side. This is the front by Andrea Mowry, and I'm knitting it out of Another Crafty Girl yarn. There's the center line, so it'll go like that. And I'm knitting it on size 1 and size 2 needles, so it's been taking a little bit of time, but I have ½ an inch to go on this side, and then the short rows and the ribbing, and then the body will be done. I'm not going to take it with me to Maryland to work on. I've got some secret projects that I need to work on, so I will probably work on those. But yeah, there's been some progress, like 4 inches worth of progress. Well, maybe. There's been some progress. So, yep, that's still underway. And then the other thing that I have on the needles is an unknown colorway, because I have no idea where the tag went, and she had renamed this colorway anyway. From when I bought it, but this is Nomadic. I'm pretty sure it's sport weight. It feels like the sport weight, and it's knitting up pretty, not as loose as a fingering weight would. I'm not gonna say tight, because me and tight never really go together, but it's...
That's what's written on the bathroom wall.
Yep. It's back when all her yarns came in gobstoppers. I looked it up on Etsy, and I think I bought this in 2016. Because I was trying to figure out what weight it was, but it was a custom order, so it didn't have the weight on it. But, yeah. So, toe-up socks, just started the toe. Just got a smidge done. And I'm knitting those on size 1 needles. And that is living in a fat squirrel bag. As is my sweater. My sweater is living in a mushroom one.
Everything is living in a fat squirrel bag. I just shove it all in the big one. The big sweater bag.
Yeah. That is it for me for works in progress. Just those two.
Okay. Well, I've only really got one work in progress. And this is the Little Lotu sweater.
Super cute.
By Anna Johanna. I'm analog and print patterns out when I'm going to make them. If it requires me to look at the pattern more than a few times, I'll print it out, because I hate having to look on my phone for that stuff. Grumpier old lady every day. So
I shouldn't say that. I hardly ever print unless it's charted
right
to the point where it would be hard to see on a phone.
Legitimately, if I have to look at that pattern more than 2 or 3 times, I'm just going to print it out. So I'm working on that. It's knit out of 2 different fingering weights. The blue is
Urban Girl.
Yep, Urban Girl in the Leva color, and the other is a hand spun. And I've got 1 sleeve done. I'm working on the second one. I had it almost done yesterday when I realized I had messed something up several inches down, and it wasn't a thing I could drop and fix. Like, stitches went mysteriously missing, so I had to rip it back. I will say ripping back and two-color brioche is actually really fast. Like the rows come out really quick. And after I finish the sleeve, I'll just have the button band left to do.
So cute.
I did an Italian bind off, which I guess is also known as like a tubular bind off on the bottom. And yeah, I mean it's very cute. It's very wee.
It's like 0 to 3 months, correct?
Yeah, a 0. I think it's 0 to 6, but it's brioche, so it's very stretchy.
Yeah. Super cute.
Yeah, I wish the increases were done slightly differently, because like they just kind of are randomly put in place. But I mean, it's not distracting or anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed it until you pointed it out.
But yeah, so it looks like I've got maybe 3 more inches, a little over that, and then I'll do
garters,
the tiny little garter cuff.
Aww.
And you bind off pearlwise on the cuff, which is very cute, and I like the way that looks. Alright, you don't actually have to be on top of my toes, sweetheart.
Buffy just laid down between us.
Yeah. Buffy likes when Laura comes over because Carly goes in the kennel while we record,
yes,
which is also in this room, but she doesn't bother Buffy, and that makes her happy.
Buffy is also a curmudgeon.
Yeah, well, she is an old lady.
Yep.
We got her in 2012 or 2013. I can't remember for sure, but she was already 2 years old at that point.
Yeah, so she's like 12.
Yeah, at least. I mean, a lot of vets use, like, I want to say between 2 and 6 is just like a guesstimate.
Yeah, because it's
based on their
teeth-based.
teeth.
Yeah.
So, and she hasn't grown any since we got her. She was already an adult dog. Anyway, so these are separated in some little red.
Aw, snap, the little cues.
Yeah, that Teresa sent me because they're red.
They're cute.
And only I'm allowed to have red things.
That is true. And only Teresa can have purple things.
Yeah. And the next thing that I'm going to cast on, but haven't, I wound the yarn. So this is
Urban Girl.
Thank you. Every time I'm picturing Michelle or Shelia in my head, but for some reason the name doesn't come to me.
I get to see them this weekend. I'm super excited.
Is Michelle going to be there too?
Yep.
Cool. And then this and this, these are from Whimsy Stitches. This is Summer Peaches, and this is Sandy Beach. And yeah, so I'm going to stripe these together. The orange is going to be an accent. I'm not going to use a ton of it, at least on the front. I might use more of it on the back. I still haven't decided the striping sequence that I'm going to do.
You've been looking at a lot of projects though, right?
I have, and I've got several favorited for the way that they use the color, or like there's some that have made this into like a tunic, and then some that made it into a full-on dress. And I kind of like the tunic length, so I might do that.
Will you have enough yarn?
I can always add more, like on the, because the way that it's constructed is, so first of all, this is the entire pattern, and the first page is just like what yarn you need, what size needles you need, gauge.
Yeah.
This is the entire pattern, one page. But the way that it's constructed is it's like a tank top. And so you start here in the corner with 2 stitches, you increase out to the neck and down, and then you decrease, and then you increase, and then you decrease. So you've got like this sort of diamondish shaped thing for the front with the neck part cut out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cast on at the center back and work down, and then join it down at the edges as you're going. So
interesting.
I can use like a completely different set of colors on the back than I do on the front if I want.
Yeah. Are you going to like maybe make the schematic big, and then you could color on the schematic and see what you think?
Well, I mean, the schematic is kind of really rough drawing. Probably what I'm going to do is pick out a couple of my favorites of finished objects that are on Ravelry, send it to my friend Gwen, and send her a picture of the yarn and be like, please make a decision for me so that I don't have to. Our friend Gwen, who is she's one of our helpers at SSK.
I was just reflecting about how we met Gwen Like, I was
Maryland.
reflecting about Maryland, because it's Maryland's 50th anniversary, and how we've met so many people through Maryland.
Yeah.
And Gwen was one of those people. She came running up to us and was like, I want to buy a wheel. You should help us. You should help me. And
she ended up with a Kiwi.
Yep.
Yeah, but she's brilliant.
And
she's,
so began the lifelong friendship of the Knit Girls and Gwen.
Yeah, she's an art conservator at
the Smithsonian.
Smithsonian. I don't know if that's her official title, but like she cleans and repairs like priceless art. And I have no idea why she's our friend, but she is. So yeah, that's,
and she is a new puppy.
Oh, that's true. That's the next thing that's going on the needles. But what about finished? You have a finished thing?
I do have a finished thing. The ends aren't woven in, but everything else is done. So the socks that I had just cast on last Tuesday, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday because I tested one day or 2 days.
I know it wasn't Wednesday because that was knit night.
Yeah.
I didn't get the episode up until Saturday, but that usually means we recorded on Thursday because it usually only takes me a day or so. But whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You guys don't care, and neither do we.
So I finished those socks, which was the Nomadic Yarns in the Your Hands Are Cold, which is a Pride and Prejudice reference colorway. So those are done. I did them toe up, added the heel from Socks on a Plane, which was created by Wendy Johnson, and just went to town and got them done. And then started on the... that's why I know it's not Thursday, because there's no way I got two socks done in a day. Like...
Again, I don't really care.
So those are done, and I will leave in the ends, and then they will be ready to be worn. Like always, I have one that's got a touch of a different color on the bind off, but
trademark for them.
Yep. But yeah, done. Weaving the ends. Maybe I'll wear them this weekend. We'll see. I haven't decided really what I'm wearing to Maryland Sheep and Wool. And I will be at Maryland Sheep and Wool, so if y'all see me, please come and say hi. I'm not doing any kind of formal meetup or anything. I'll just be wandering around aimlessly, looking at fleeces. So, yeah.
If you see her in a checkout line somewhere, tell her she doesn't need it.
Leslie's not buying anything right now, so she thinks no one should buy anything ever.
That's the rule.
Yep. A rule that is not being followed by this person right here.
Nor was agreed upon.
Yeah. Like...
That's not the point. So I finished my recalibrate. I've woven in the ends, but I haven't blocked it yet, so there's still a lot of ends hanging out. The way that I typically do weaving in ends is I weave everything in, and then I cut off anything more than a few inches so that I know I've woven that end in. I do that across the whole garment. And then I block it, and then once it's been blocked and it's to size, then I trim the ends.
Because the ends move a little bit.
They might
can
shrink
pop out.
in or pop out, right, so I'll wait. So, yeah, it's done.
Yay!
I haven't tried it on, but I'm sure it will fit. It looks like it will fit.
It'll look cute with the top you have on right now.
So, yeah, it's done, and if I try it on and don't absolutely love it, then I'll give it away to somebody. Although, I mean, I have no reason to think I wouldn't.
I think it's super cute.
So, yeah, this is Recalibrate by Shayna Cohen. She's one of our SSK teachers.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of people coming to SSK have or are knitting a Recalibrate.
It's going to be a Recalibrate parade. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I am here for it.
This is definitely something that you could make with a ton of scraps.
Oh, yeah.
And really make some gorgeous
Emily
pieces.
did hers all out of scraps, I think.
Yeah, like
with the neon.
Especially if they're in somewhat of a similar color family. They don't always have to be the same. In fact, it's better if they're not all the same.
Hers were all neons.
Yeah.
Because Emily.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
I'm not here to crap on that. So.
No.
But yeah.
Neon pink is her neutral. You know how different people have their favorite color as like a neutral?
Yeah. That
would be hers.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely see myself knitting more recalibrates in the future. It's very
always
versatile,
yeah.
pattern.
It's a great way to use up yarn. You can use whatever is in your stash.
Yep.
For the most part. I have not been spinning because, well, I've been doing secret project spinning that I can't talk about for Ply Magazine. I am working on an article for the sweaters issue. So, lots of secrets going on that I cannot share, but I should have some stuff maybe to show you all next week that I can share that's not for that project. But yeah, so no real spinning. And you haven't been spinning. Have you been doing any other kinds of crafting? Watercolor or anything?
Nothing that I really want to show. Or at least not yet. I'm working. Last September, I did a 10-day. This is when I was first sort of getting into watercolor. I did a 10-day like paint along with Colby Bloom on YouTube. I mean, it had been recorded like a couple of years before, but so I did it, and then I put it aside, and I haven't really looked at them again. And so now I'm doing it again because I want to see what the differences are in like technique or skill or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just finished day 8, and I'm really unhappy with it. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
I feel like you were unhappy with that. Is that the one with like the boat and the waves?
No.
Okay.
That was a different teacher.
Okay.
But I mean, for the most part, I've been happy with what I've done so far on the 10-day thing, but today I'm not. So.
Okay. That's allowed. You're waiting to come to my house and puppy sit this weekend to cut out fabric.
I am. I've washed and dried the fabric for Laura's Lichen Duster. And typically I would use my projector to project onto the fabric and cut everything out, but I'm very tight on yardage, so I want to mess around with different configurations so I can get the absolute most out of the yardage that I can. So that's what I plan to do partly at Laura's this weekend, is have space and
just
cut out the
enjoy
pattern.
not paying the ball tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Pearl does not care about a ball. No, unless it's filled with treats.
Yeah.
She has no interest.
Unless she can pick it up and throw it against things to get the treats to fall out.
It's very true as to what happens.
That's Pearl. That's not Carly. Although Carly, she has a couple of the same toys that that Pearl has, the like treat dispensing toys.
Uh-huh.
She's very rough with them. I mean, so is Pearl, to be fair. But
when I was sick, Pearl would pick them up and take them over the baby gate. It was open, but like that little lip, and bring them into the bedroom with me.
And she'd be like, "Mom,
what is happening?" When I was super sick. Anyway, I have been still reading Hidden Legacy and listening to Vanishing Fleece, but mostly I've been playing Disney Dreamlight on the Switch, and it's all because of our Discord group. They were the people who recommended that to me. So I have been doing my daily chores on there, and I have Elsa now in my kingdom, so I'm like all caught up with like visitors that I could bring in and their quests. So now I'm just like working to build friendships with all the villagers. So
would you say the amount of chores that are being done on the game and in real life are equivalent?
No. No, because I like take Stitch to go fishing there. And he gives me bonus fish. No one give me bonus like mugs of coffee if I put mine in the dishwasher. That would be amazing. Unfortunately, real life does not work like that. But I can play with my feet up in bed, and so and it's harder with the angle that I'm laying down, where my feet are elevated above my chest, to do things like knit or spin. So there's been a lot of reading. And just junk, and then a lot of playing of Disney Dreamlight Castle. And I've been watching Sister Boniface and Brokenwood, because they both have new seasons. So yeah, that's been it for me entertainment wise. What have you been reading or doing?
I started rereading, it's a hard word, the Shadow Wizard book series, which is a spin-off of another book series, Rogue Wizard, by Jeff Kennedy. The second book in the Shadow Wizard series came out, so I'm rereading the first because I'd forgotten everything. And it's fine. It's just sort of fluff.
Yeah.
Male, female, paranormal, fantasy. I'm re-listening to old episodes of Maintenance Phase because I don't know. I've just felt kind of grumpy the past couple days, and listening to Aubrey and Michael Hobbs makes me happy. I rewatched True Detective, the first season. The other two, I like to pretend
Didn't exist.
did not happen. Although again, the Mahershala Ali season was pretty good. But yeah, there's a new season of that coming out. Did I watch anything else? Not really.
We finished RuPaul's Drag Race season 15.
We did about 2 weeks after the rest of the
Mm.
world.
I was sick.
Well, and you were out of town.
Yep.
So, and I don't really care that much. So, I wasn't
There's an-
like super invested in any
Yeah.
of these particular queens.
There's an all-star season coming up, which Leslie loves Jimbo.
I do. I have. Jimbo should probably get a restraining order.
And there's a new show coming up that's going to be on Hulu, hosted by Bianca Del Rio
Yeah, you sent a link.
and Neil Patrick Harris. That looks it's like a competition.
Dine something.
Something dinner. Drag dinner?
Drag me to dinner?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, that is the wrong stitch. Why did I do that?
I don't know.
Because I wasn't paying attention.
Upcoming things. I'll be at Maryland this weekend, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I have a doctor's appointment Thursday. And then Stash Dash will be happening at the end of the month. I have on our Discord group already a chatter thread that's started and people are chattering along with. So you can definitely check that out, and all the finish lines and everything will be put up at the end of May. If you don't know what Stash Dash is, there's tons of information available on our Discord.
Yeah, it's basically just you setting goals to work through stash.
Over the summer.
Stash.
Yep.
It's you're competing against yourself.
Yep. Absolutely. So, unless you're Leslie, in which you think everyone should be not buying anything and downsizing their stash.
That's not part of Stash Dash.
It is not. So yeah, that is it for me. Do you have anything else out? Anything else to talk about?
I don't really think so. I did find a stained glass class to take
Oh, fun.
in Memphis at that 5-in-1.
Yeah.
Kobe's going to take the class with me.
Oh, that'll be cool for you.
So that's in June.
We have a Patreon event tomorrow for our Patreons.
Oh, yeah. We have a fail along. It's some kind of paper crafting. I'm doing quilling, and Laura's doing some sort of
Layered.
layered paper thing. So yeah. Until then, if you're a Patreon supporter, thank you, and we'll see you then. Otherwise, have a good week. If you're going to Maryland, have a great time and travel safe. And say hi to Laura.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.